Good morning. This is Jordan Bradford here with the Tranel Financial Group. I hope you're having a great day. I just wanted to share a quick couple thoughts here that I had. I've been recently getting a lot of questions asking about how does this current market environment that we're in compare to what happened back in 2008, 2009. And I think that's a great question for us to be asking and really looking back at history to compare and to really get a sense of how do we get through this particular crisis that we're in now. So one of the things that I wanted to talk about was really what happened back in '08 and '09. And I think a lot of people don't remember that '08 and '09 actually took place really from about 2007 to 2010. That whole financial crisis that we went through wasn't really an overnight thing. It was more of like a 3-year process from start to finish. Back in October of 2007, the market had hit an all-time high. And it wasn't until October of 2008 that the market really experienced its first major drop. But during that time, the market had been slowly going down a little bit each month, essentially. So we saw a slow decrease in the decline of the market there until about October of '08. And then we saw another slow decrease leading up to about March of 2009 when we saw the bottom of the market during the financial crisis back then. And it wasn't, until about 2010 where things kind of finally had recovered and we saw the market grow again on a fairly decent pace. So that is really quite different from what we've experienced here with COVID-19. We basically experienced all of what's happened in this market really almost like it happened overnight. It was about a month and a half or so from where the market was kind of at its all-time high again, and then we saw about a 34% decline through March 23rd. We have seen some rebounding since then, but that's a really quick time frame for the market to drop as much as it did in such a short period of time. So the main question there is like, what does that really tell us? And historically speaking, what that tells us is that we're likely to see a quicker recovery than what we saw in '08 and '09, because when the market historically drops quickly, it recovers quickly. Now, I still think we've got a decently long road ahead of us, so don't get me wrong there, but I do think that we're likely going to see a quicker recovery than what we did in '08, '09 because we saw a quicker drop than we saw in '08 and '09. Another main factor to really kind of the major differences is just the way that it really impacted people. In '08 and '09, it was really kind of slowly seeping into all sectors of the market. Whereas with this COVID-19, it was almost like opening up a door to go into a room and someone just punches you right in the face, right? I mean, it's very abrupt, very quick, no time to really react. And by the time you've realized what's happened, you're just trying to figure out, okay, how do I go forward from here? So there are some similarities, but there have been a lot of differences between '08, '09 and what's happened now, including also how much money that our federal government has been willing to spend. So I think that we could have a long discussion on what the long-term ramifications are going to be of some of these stimulus packages. But I'm a big proponent of tackling the problem that you have at hand and then addressing problems that come up as they come up. I really don't think it's good for us to start saying, well, we're going to have these problems 5-10 years from now and we have to start preparing for them, as opposed to not really handling the problem that we have at hand right now, which is we've got to get through this virus and we have to get our economy back on track. Once all that's done, I think we're going to see a really good growth in the economy, and I think we can start addressing some of the future problems that will come from some of the stimulus packages. But that's the main difference. We've spent a lot of money tackling this problem, and I think the government's going to continue to do that, and they're doing it at a very rapid pace because they really don't have a choice, right? Things happened really quickly in this crisis. And so I feel very confident that we're doing the right things. Just continue to stay at home, continue to stay safe and healthy, And if you have any questions at all, please reach out to us. You can reach us at 847-680-9050. Thanks. Have a great day.